talk about Carmelo Anthony. I don't even need you to time me. I don't think this is going to be 3 minutes. It's a real quick rant.
Oh, boy.
So here's the thing, right? Carmelo Anthony doesn't play for the New York Knicks anymore. Has not played for the New York Knicks for an entire season now.
Nope.
And for some reason, when I turn on the radio, someone is blaming Carmelo Anthony for something. Hey, there was an accident on the New Jersey Turnpike. It's Carmelo Anthony's fault. I don't understand. I don't understand what he did to you. This was my biggest gripe. So, for those of you who don't know, Kevin Knox left a comment on a video of Carmelo Anthony working out and was like, oh, if Melo played like this every year, he'd be MVP or something like that, right? And people took it very negatively, and people thought that he was making fun of Carmelo, and he wasn't. He was just like acknowledging how well he plays in those videos, right? So, I don't know which morning show it was, Boomer, whoever it was, they were like, yeah, let's get Kevin Knox on the show. I like anybody on the show that's willing to talk crap about Melo. How old are you, bro? You're like a 60-year-old man wanting to get an 18-year-old kid to talk about a star who came to New York and gave it his all and got ran out of town by Phil Jackson. I get so baffled by New York media, and I thought it was a thing, right? I thought it was like everyone just bashed Carmelo, because you go on Twitter, you see it, you turn on New York radio stations, you hear it. But then I listened to a podcast. I listened to The Low Post with Chris Herring and Royce Young.
Royce Young.
And they were defending Carmelo, and it was crazy to me. I'm like, see, that's the thing. Like, these people that are actual writers, that are actually into, like, analytics and stuff, they don't just get on the airwaves to talk crap. And it's really refreshing to hear people just give an honest take about Carmelo Anthony. Yes, the Twitter jokes are all fine and good and everything, but I am sick and tired of hearing about Carmelo Anthony when he doesn't even play here anymore. If you're going to talk about him, why don't you talk about the things that he's doing in Puerto Rico for, like, the kids, opening up his basketball courts. And why don't you talk about that? The only thing I want to hear about Carmelo Anthony is good luck in Houston, my man. Thank you for what you did in New York. Thank you for what you tried to do in New York. Thank you. It didn't work out. Everybody get over it and move on. I'm done now.
I didn't know you was going to go to social justice route at the end.
Yeah, let's get it. Shout out Puerto Rico. I appreciate you, Carmelo.
That took a turn. I'm very happy about that, actually.
Just saying.
It is rough, though. I mean, I feel like that's what New York media does. They thrive off negativity. They're like I don't know what thrives off negativity, though. They're like Darth Vader. They're the Darth Vader of you don't even know Star Wars.
I know who Darth Vader is.
Yeah, like
that's the dude in the mask that breathes all heavy.
Yeah, when Anakin was burning and he only could live through the hate. That's what New York media is. It's a burning Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar.
I mean, honestly, it's really true, though.
That was real nerdy.
Because even they do the same thing with Kristaps and Frank Ntilikina.
Oh, true.
Like, it's not just Melo. It's next man up, literally. It's like, Carmelo's gone? Well, hold on. We're still going to talk about him. But let's talk crap about Kristaps. And hold on. Let's talk crap about the 19-year-old kid who is great defensively, but because, God forbid, he isn't as aggressive as you like, or he doesn't have a shot together just yet at 19 years old, let's tear him apart and let's trade him. Oh, we should have drafted Dennis Smith Jr. You know what? I'm not even going to get there. Sorry, this rant went on a little too long.
Not a big Dennis Smith Jr. fan, but I will say that statistically speaking, Frank Ntilikina was the best perimeter pick and roll defender in the league last year.
And I think we spoke about this in the last last podcast episode. We definitely did.
Time out. Before we get to Houston Rocket Carmelo Anthony, we got to talk about Atlanta Hawk Carmelo Anthony.
For all, 48 hours? Or
yeah, but they made that man a jersey, and it's kind of fresh.
They did! They really made him a jersey, tweeted it at him, and said, your jersey is on the way. Good luck in Houston, bruh.
I have a project. I want to get a jersey from every team in the league, and I think that might be my Atlanta jersey.
Yeah, because what other Hawks jersey are you really going to get?
Dominique Wilkins.
I was thinking more current players. That's my fault.
That's fair. I mean, unless you get the Schroeder.
So, Carmelo Anthony to the Houston Rockets. Talk about it.
I think it's going to be a success in a way. I mean, you think about the fact that they lost Luke Richard and Mbah-a-Moute, and they lost Trevor Ariza, who shout out Trevor Ariza getting $15 million from the Suns. The Suns just handing out money like, what's good? You want some money? They need to start.
You want some cash?
Wow. That's a throwback. They have a starting 3 spot open available for Carmelo. He gets to start at the 3. Granted, he's going to start at the 3, and P.J. Tucker's probably going to start at the 4. And then P.J. Tucker's going to end up guarding the three most likely. It doesn't matter. Melo gets to start. Melo actually, even though he had a career low and like everything possible. I did a project for this in school. He had a career low in everything possible: shooting percentage, 3-point percentage, effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, player efficiency rating. Like, he was still good at catch and shoot threes. His career, he's still been good at catch and shoot threes, and that's what those are the main types of shots he's going to get with Harden and Paul creating most of the offense. Also, the Houston Rockets run an isolation-heavy pick-and-roll system where it's about beating your man. Now, granted, Melo might not be able to beat anyone off the dribble as much as he used to be able to, but I think with Capella setting a solid screen, Melo can beat, heavy-footed fives off the dribble. And if he learns to kick out, drive and kick like Harden does, like Chris Paul does, I think he actually has a chance to make sense. Now, granted, it's the defense that's sort of going to be an issue. I don't know if he's going to be able to go out and defend your Kevin Durant's,
nobody can.
Yeah, but exactly, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, he's going to get asked to guard Durant. He's going to get asked to guard LeBron. But no one can do that. Like, okay, no one can do that. It takes a team to do that anyway. And the Rockets, they're going to switch everything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Why do you think the experiment in OKC didn't work out?
AOP, I should have come off the bench. I think he should have come off the bench.
That's been pretty much his entire criticism this year is he's selfish. He didn't want to do what he should have done for the betterment of the team. And, like, Black Bruce and I have had this discussion plenty of times where, like, I think we put a lot of pressure on the players. Like, we don't realize that these guys are human, just like everybody else, regardless if they're getting paid millions of dollars. Like, it must be really difficult to go from being the number one guy, not just the number one, the best player on your team since the start of your career practically, to being told, hey, I gotta come off the bench? Me, Carmelo Anthony? Like, I don't think it's that absurd for him to be like, no, I don't want to come off the bench. I think it's a pretty normal thing. I don't think a lot of guys want to come off the bench. Guys on the bench don't want to come off the bench. They want to work to be starters. Like, I don't... Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I also think, like you said, they're human beings. Like, you got to think about how hard it is for you to break a habit, right? Human beings are creatures of habit. Well, this guy's habit, the way he plays basketball, has made him hundreds of millions of dollars. The most money that any player has made in the league since he's been in the league. It's Carmelo Anthony. It's not LeBron. It's not Dwayne Wade. It's not Chris Bosh. It's Carmelo Anthony. So he's made hundreds of millions of dollars playing the game the way he does. You think he's just going to be like, yeah, I'll switch now? No, it doesn't make sense. It's got him this much success. It takes time. It takes someone you trust letting you know that this is needed, and I think that's what Chris Paul's going to be. I think it's interesting when you look at his career, because I think you can compare his career, and a lot of basketball careers in general, to the careers of other professionals in the public spotlight.
Professionals such as Charles Diamond?
One of my many talents.
To make a long story short, what Black Bruce is trying to say is that we can compare NBA careers to rappers' careers. And we've done that, or I've done that. Or, I mean, I've asked the question, I've posed the question on my Instagram. And I got some very interesting responses in regards to which rapper is Carmelo Anthony's career most like?
Which rap career does it resemble?
And I've gotten pretty much every rapper I could think of. But the funny thing is in like my 30 comments or so, I did not get the one rapper that Black Bruce is going to compare him to.
I think that's interesting.
It is interesting. You have a very original take on this.
Shall I?
Tell the people. Talk to them.
I think Melo's career has been defined by his skill. His singular skill. A skill he's very well developed. I think there's a rapper with a singular skill that's very well developed that is a little underrated, both historically and right now. I think Carmelo Anthony is one Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., a.k.a. Lil Wayne, a.k.a. Weezy F Baby, and the F is for phenomenal. I know it doesn't start with an F. You look at somebody like Wayne, great punchline rapper. Melo's a great scorer. What does Melo do on the court? Score the basketball. What does Wayne do on the track? Punchlines. Punchlines about something that starts with a P most of the time. You look at Melo. He doesn't have any rings, just like Wayne doesn't have any classic legacy albums. Now, Wayne has the Carter 3, but that was more Pomp and Circumstance and Substance. That was like a scoring title. You know what I'm saying? Wayne's got The Carter, but that was more just like, that was cool because he was young and it was dope, but it's not really a classic album. It's a classic Wayne album, but it's not really a classic album. That's like the NCAA championship Melo won with Syracuse. Now, Melo's got 4 Olympic gold medals, just like Wayne has got classic mixtape after classic mixtape. But a lot of the mainstream hip-hop fans don't really listen to mixtapes. Just like a lot of the basketball fans don't really care about Olympic gold medals. They want to see your ring. They want to hear your classic album. You feel me?
I feel you.
Now, Melo's got Hoodie Melo, just like Wayne has got the mixtape Wheezy. You know what I'm saying? And like Melo, Wayne is good at what he does. He's a punchline rapper. If you need punchlines, he'll come at you with punchlines. Melo can score. Melo scored 63 in the Garden. Wayne,
62 in the Garden.
That's the second time I've done this. Wayne dropped feature after feature after feature for 5 years. 6 years. 4, 5, 6 years. But still, we look at him and want something else. And that's not to say he can't do something else. Melo can rebound. Melo can assist. Melo can even play a little defense when he's going up against somebody who wants to play defense. Wayne can give you a How to Love. Wayne can give you a Something You Forgot. Wayne can give you, don't do that, that's a good song. Wayne can give you a Georgia Bush, but that's not what he does. And don't take away from what he does because you want him to do something else. Don't take away from what Melo does because you want him to do something else. They're good at what they do. Now Melo, about to go to Houston, has a resurgence that he can take advantage of after his down year in OKC. Just like Wayne, with this Cash Money nonsense and the lackluster mixtapes he's put out, can have a new opportunity to hop back on top with C5. Because we've all heard Dedication 6 Reloaded. If you haven't, you should. And he got Yeezy Season on there. He got Bank Account on there. He got Bloody Water on there. I don't forget what the track's called, but it was Blood Water, Water in the Blood. I don't know, it's with Joel Santana. And he ripped it. Just like Melo's got Hoodie Melo. So, you know, I think Wayne and Melo, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? I personally, I think that's perfect. I think this conversation is like the 1900s. It's over. But
that is a glowing comparison, guys, for the record, because this man right here loves him some Lil Wayne. I think I heard the same Lil Wayne song at least 4 times today.
Suicide, this is suicide. Tell him seeking you a fine because I'm going to lose my mind.
My comparison is kind of whack, and it's literally based off something you said, right?
That's what I do.
So we're in the car yesterday, and we're listening to the song Cole just put out.
Album of the year.
Over the Uchiwali beat, right?
Uchiwali.
And Black Bruce said that nobody gets hated on more than Cole for being good at what they do. And, like, I think that literally is just, like, the perfect sentence to apply to how people view Carmelo Anthony and Carmelo Anthony's career. And you said it, right? Carmelo Anthony's good at one thing. He is good at scoring. And, like, people want to hate on him because he doesn't want to come off the bench. Whatever. He's good at scoring, and he knows he's good at scoring. And, like, people hate him for it, and it's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
Let's do rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
You give me one, I give you one.
All right, boom. Rapid fire. What about Nas?
Oh, it's supposed to be rapid fire. I'm supposed to go quick. I think it's a good comparison if you're of the mindset that LeBron is Jay-Z and Melo was once compared to him, was once called better than him, but has since then lived in his shadows. Go. I mean, Kanye.
Kanye. I get it because Kanye had a rough year and Melo had a rough year. You know, Melo was shooting poorly and career lows in every sense, every category. And Kanye with calling Trump his Dragon Energy brother. I think these are two very different things myself, but I get the comparison. Next, Soulja Boy.
I'm disgusted. Anyway.
Yeah, Trick, yeah.
I like that song. Fab.
Fab. In terms of somebody who's washed.
Washed?
Washed. Yeah. No disrespect, Fab, don't shoot me.
But like, break it down.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I mean, it's cool because, like, Fab was always super underrated. Like, Fab was really clever. Fab had hits, but his hits didn't, like, get to the heights of other people's hits. Just like Melo's, like, scoring didn't really get the shine like other people's scoring got. But right now, it's like, okay, like, people are kind of not sick of him, but people they're not really checking for Melo like they're not really checking for Fab.
It's like Fab's level of clever just slowed down, like Melo's jab step. Like, it's just not as quick anymore. Like, it's not as useful anymore.
I got
Like,
you.
it's kind of whack now. Like, all of Fab's bars.
I really like Fab, so you're gonna stop disrespecting Fab, even though I did just call him worst.
Worst.
Eminem.
If you're of the mindset that Melo was once great and is now washed, Eminem is a great comparison, right? Once great, now washed. I think it's real simple.
One's great, now watch. Now Eminem still might come out with something like that Cypher freestyle like he did about Trump. That was dope.
That was pretty dope.
Just like Melo had a game where he hit like 6, 7 threes, and you were like, oh my gosh, this man still might do this, but then like not really.
But I
the
feel like
album's
I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to Melo a little bit.
I thought you were about to say disrespectful to M. I was about to be like, absolutely not. But yeah, I hear
It's a
you.
little disrespectful to Melo in terms of like being washed, because Melo can still score, and like I haven't heard anything really good from Eminem in a while.
Nah.
Last one?
Last one.
Ludacris.
That's actually kind of good. That's actually kind of perfect. Luda got hits. Luda been underrated.
Been underrated.
Always underrated. Came with hits after hits after hits. Had the features.
Doesn't have the hardware.
Doesn't have the hardware. Doesn't have the classics. People can't even name Luda albums. Name me one Luda album.
Chicken and Beer.
I just told her that.
He did, and I was like, he got an album called Chicken and Beer?
Yeah, I think
that's a dope name for an album.
I think it's a good comparison. Super underrated, but like underrated in a way. Like Luda's underrated, but he's still not like top 5. But he's still underrated. Like people don't respect him as much as they should.
Word.
And I think people forget. Like people forget how good Melo was when he was good. People forget how good Luda is and was when he was on top. Not on top, but like on Mad Features. They didn't have him. They didn't have him on the remix. Now he's on the original version. I messed that line up, but you get what I'm saying. I'm so hood. He was on the remix, and then they put him on the. We the best.
All right, I'm gonna give you one last one.
Go ahead.
Push.
No. No.
Why?
If Push is a ball player, Push is like Matt Barnes. Nah, Matt Barnes doesn't have the.
I feel like it's not the most awful comparison though, because it's like you were saying about Wayne, right? He's good at this one thing, right? What is Push really good at? Rapping about what?
Cocaína.
I feel like the problem with that comparison is Push is so good at that one thing that nobody ever complains about. People want in.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite. It would be people saying, no, Melo should have come off the bench. Give him the ball. It would be people wanting Melo to play ISO every single game, no matter like how many times or how many years we've seen him do it.
Push is like Rondo. Like Rondo's just gonna pass, and like people know if you appreciate passers, like okay, Rondo's probably the best passer the game's seen since Magic, and people know that Push is the best drug rapper they've seen since I don't know who. I don't listen to a lot of drug rap. I'll be honest with you.
This FROmagnum Black Bruce, you guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Twitters.
Swag.
At FROmagnum __.
At _ Charles Diamond.
Subscribe to our Instagram. Whoa, I forgot we have an Instagram. FROxBlackBruce.
It's real bare right now.
It's real bare right now. We trying to get it going. We trying to get some content.
We rebuilding the brand and not doing that. We doing very little of that. Only a little bit of that. That's the only that you'll ever see.